Hi, in today's video we're going to talk about NuTone backup batteries for NuTone master stations. Before we get into the heart of the topic here, raise your hand if you remember having a VCR back in the 80s or 90s that always flashed 12 o'clock. So almost everyone who's watching this video should have raised their hands. So why did your VCR always flash 12 o'clock? Well, back in the 80s and 90s, most VCRs didn't have backup batteries, and when the power went off in your home, it would lose the time setting that was stored into the memory of the VCR, and since there was no battery to back it up, when it lost power, it would lose the setting, and when power came back on, it would flash 12 o'clock. I suppose some VCRs did have backup batteries, and it would have maintained the time until the power came back on, but eventually these type of batteries wear out, and they lose their ability to hold a charge. Therefore, they lose the ability to back up the time on your VCR. The same exact thing happens on NuTone Intercom master stations. Starting with the IM 4006 in 1986, most all, but not everyone, but most NuTone master stations that have a digital clock have a backup battery. These are the three most common examples of backup batteries. The blue one is from an IM 4006 vintage about 1989. The red one is from a NuTone IM 3303 vintage about 1996. And the green one is from a NuTone IM 4406 vintage about 2002. All of these battery packs were made by a company called Varta. Varta is not very well known in the U.S., but they're a large international battery manufacturer, and they make a lot of different types of batteries. In some countries you can buy Varta A and D and C cells. They're very common. Varta is also an OEM manufacturer, which means they'll make custom battery packs for manufacturers to go in their products. All of these batteries are, well, the blue battery and the red battery are nickel-cadmium batteries. And the green one is, since it's the newest one, it's a nickel metal hydride battery. But regardless, they're all fundamentally the same. All of these battery packs contain 4 cells inside, and I'll show you that in a minute. And they're rated at 4.8 volts. And they have an amperage rating of 280 milliamp hours. And the milliamp hours is the rating that tells you how long the battery will last before it runs out. So let's take a look at these a second. So here we have a Varta battery. It's a nickel cadmium battery. It's from an IM 3303 master station. Again, it's rated at 4.8 volts at 250 milliamp hours. Inside it contains 4 V280RT batteries, and here it shows it's nickel cadmium. It's not nickel metal hydride, and of course you're not supposed to throw them in the trash. So this one I've sliced open to show you what happens to these. So we'll take the wrapper off, and you can see inside. First we'll look at, it's made up of 4 cells. So there's 1, 2, and then there's 3 and 4. These still have the red wrapper on it. I took the red wrapper off of this pair so you could see them. And these are actually 4 individual coin cell batteries, and they've been sort of welded together at the Varta factory, I would assume. We can sort of pry one apart here and you can see the separations. So they took the standard coin cell batteries that they've already made, and they made them into an assembly by welding them together and then wrapping them in the plastic wrap. So you can see on this one, when I sliced it open, here the battery has leaked, and you have this corrosion of the chemicals that's leaked out of the coin cell. It's on that's the negative side, and then on both of these two, it's all leaked and it's kind of nasty and has a lot of chemicals. So this battery pack is done and would not hold a charge any longer. In your NuTone master station, these batteries, their function is to back up the memory, which contains the time for the clock, and it also backs up the memory for your preset AM and FM radio stations. When these batteries lose their ability to hold a charge and you have a utility power outage in your home, the memory of the clock and the radio station presets will be lost, and when the power does come back on, it's just like the old school 1980s VCR, and your clock on your master station will flash 12 or 1 o'clock or whatever it's set up to do. So you have to reset the time, and you'll have to reprogram your preset radio stations, which is kind of annoying. So why do these fail? Well, these types of rechargeable battery packs, these have a nominal life of about 5 years. They also have about a 500 charge cycle life, which simply means if you take a fully charged battery pack and you discharge it completely, you can recharge it approximately 500 times before it will no longer hold a charge. Recharge number is not that important in the application that these are used in, because in NuTone Intercom master stations, these are on a constant trickle charge. They never, in theory, would become totally discharged unless you had a really long power outage, and they would eventually run out. So they're on a trickle charge, so the 500 charge cycle doesn't really apply, but the age of the battery does. So nominally, it's 5 years per pack. Why is this a problem? One, these are not available from NuTone any longer. They stopped making them back in 2005, and anything that's left on the shelf now, if you did find someone that had some, they would be 10 years old. So they've exceeded their expected life even sitting on a shelf, and it wouldn't be a good value to buy it, because even if they do initially hold a charge, their lifespan is going to be much shorter than the 5 years that you expect. What do we do about this? Well, we've come up with this solution. We'll put these off to the side, and we're going to look at this. So this is a replacement battery pack that we make. It's designed to replace the packs that NuTone used to make. This is designed to be a direct replacement, so let me show you what this is made up of. Our battery packs are made up of a commercially available 4-cell battery holder. This is designed to hold 4 AAA nickel cadmium rechargeable batteries, and then we use 4 AAA 1.2 volt nickel cadmium batteries. These have a slightly higher milliamp per hour rating. These are rated at 300, where the original ones are rated at 280. That simply means that these will last longer before they fully discharge. We tried to make this as simple as possible. One of the challenges in recreating something that has to fit into an existing product is this holder has to fit in place of in the slot that this original battery pack fit into, and that presents somewhat of a challenge. The other thing that we did is these come with just standard bare wire ends, so we need to graft on the original connector from an original battery pack so you can plug it into the socket in your master station. So here's our assembled battery pack. It's simply the 4 AAA cells in the battery holder. We use some shrink tape around the center of the battery pack to make sure the batteries don't fall out. And we've soldered on an original connector from an original NuTone battery pack onto the leads that came with the battery holder, and then we put some heat shrink tubing to cover up the splice and to cover up the individual wires off the battery holder so it's sturdy and the wires won't break. This is a proper replacement for what you have. While this is simple enough to make up, it's not something that most people would want to do, so you can simply order them from us. What we're looking at here is the back of an IM3303 faceplate. It doesn't have any boards or electronics, it's just a stripped down plastic faceplate. But this slot right here is the slot that the original battery pack was designed to fit in. And you can see it fits in properly because that's the size that was designed to go in there. So if we take that out, we can take our battery pack that we've constructed, and you can see that it fits into the slot properly, just like the other battery pack did. It doesn't protrude up past the back of the edge of the faceplate very much, and you have to consider that all of this area behind the unit is the wall housing that's recessed into your wall, so there's plenty of depth because the back of the intercom, the components come up to about here. So this fits in properly, so this is a good match. The lead is longer, but that just simply actually in some ways makes it easier to plug it into the socket, which is normally located on the main board right here. So this is a proper fit. And this is the back of an IM5006 faceplate. And this pocket right here is where the original battery pack was designed to fit. In a 5006, the battery pack sits on its side instead of sitting into the slot flat. Flat's too wide. On the side fits properly. And if we take that out and we take our battery pack, you'll see that it fits in on its side also. And again, the connector or the socket that the plug goes into would be mounted right here in this area, and this would simply plug into it. So this is a one-size-fits-all, tried and tested. We did a lot of testing on this to come up with the right bits and pieces to make it easy for people to do themselves. When we make these up, we have them in stock. They are pre-charged, so when you order it, it's already been charged up. If you want to order one of these, you can send us an email or you can call us. Our phone number and email will be shown at the end of the video, and we'll send one out to you. I hope this helps. If you found this video to be helpful, please give it a thumbs up on YouTube. If you find our other videos to be helpful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribing to our YouTube channel raises our search rankings on YouTube, which simply means other people will find our videos and we can help them also. Oh, by the way, comments are appreciated. The comments and the thumbs up are down below the video on the YouTube page. That's where you find it. Hope this helps. See you in the next video.